Victor Echo 1 Juliet Bravo Lima, VE1 JBL, standing by for the net. Victor Echo 9 Alpha India.
Okay, JBL, Yankee 2 Gulf Fox, 1 Oscar Lima, VK C. Alright, we'll try Rob in a little bit there. Once again, Victor Echo 1, JBL, Jim, come on in with any comments for the net, please.
Yeah, very good evening, Don, and all on frequency. Rob, if you're still in there, I think Rob is on the road maybe. I still not seen the live feed, and I know he usually goes home for the holidays, so maybe he's on the road, but I heard him just for a second, and it disappeared, so I'm not sure where he's at there, if he's on the road. But Rob, good evening if you are there, and good evening also to George on the island, and Aubrey, and Gary, and Glenn. Good morning over there in Australia. So it looks like you got a good start to the net here, Don, so I won't keep it. Have yourself a good one. We'll be monitoring along here, 7-3 for now. VE9 Zulu Papa from Victor Echo 1 Juliet Bravo Lima, Jim and Tignish Bridge, 7-3.
All right, Jim, good on everything. I don't know if you have any comments or not for the topic of discussion for tonight. It is, do you prefer homemade or commercial antennas? Go ahead.
I forgot all about that part, Don. I was trying to write down everything else I wanted to say and then forgot all about the antennas. I haven't had the opportunity myself. I know a lot of the club members have made their own antennas, and especially the J-poles with copper and everything. A lot of them have made antennas that way for 2 meters. I've never attempted to make one as of yet. I guess I'm just a lazy one. I just buy the store-bought ones, but. Anyways, I did try and make myself a G5 RV once, and it never seemed to work out right. So I don't know what happened on that one. But I had the vellum, I had it all cut and everything, but it never seemed to work. So I just went out and bought myself one after that and stuck it up here in the garage. So I guess I didn't have good luck with that. Anyways, that's about it from here, Don. But I do know a lot of people do enjoy making their own antennas. Back to you.
Roger on that, Jim. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm actually working off of a homemade vertical for 2 meters right now. It actually tuned up quite good. It was cheap to make, and it does the job, but I do have half of a twin boomer that I'm going to be retrofitting and refurbishing and getting that back up in the air. So should get a stronger signal with that for sure. All right, Jim. Thanks a lot for the check-in there, man, and have yourself a great Easter weekend. Hope the Easter Bunny's good to you. And up next, we have Victor Yankee 2, Gulf Fox. I believe that's George. Come on in, George, with any comments for the net.
Well, good evening, Don, everybody on the net. I'm coming from Charlottetown, and it's a very interesting topic tonight. I have a pushcraft beam and a gap titan here, and that's what I use primarily, but the most interesting antenna I have is one that was built by Bernie VE9BGC. It's called the Rocket, and it's what I use for doing the lighthouse activations. And I've managed to make about 1,300 contacts for various lighthouses around using this antenna. Now, to find out all about it, there's a Facebook page. It's called the Maritime Mobile Amateur Radio System. Maritime Mobile Amateur Radio System. And if you go on Facebook and bring that up, it'll tell you all about the rocket antenna. If people can't find it, send me an email. It's on my QRZ page, and I'll send you the link to it. So, interesting net tonight, and looking forward to subsequent nets. Victor Yankee 2, Golf Foxtrot.
Victor Yankee 2, Golf Fox, Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa. Good on everything there, George. Wow, that's, I would say that antenna's definitely working for lighthouse activation there, my friend. Good job on that for sure. You have a good weekend there, George, and happy Easter to you, and thanks a lot for the check-in. Up next, we have Aubrey, Victor Echo 1, Oscar Lima, I believe, and he's followed by Glenn, VK4. So, Aubrey, any comments for the net?
Yeah, VE9ZP in the net, VE1OL. Good evening, Don, and everybody on the net tonight. Everybody's sounding great. And beautiful day here. It's pretty cool, but 8 degrees, but no complaints. I've got a pond in the backyard. There's wall-to-wall water right now, and with all the drain off, and the ducks are back, and so spring's here. With regard to antennas, I've got 3 homemade inverted V's, one for 75, another for 60 meters, another one for 40. And other than that, I have pushcraft beams for 2 meters and 440, and a Comet vertical for 10, 6, 2, and 440, and a butternut that covers 160 meters to 6 meters, so pretty well set for antennas. And I like to make my own, but the commercial ones are great too. So I'm all set, and no more need to be making more antennas. Everything's working very well here. Thanks for doing the net. I wish everybody a happy Easter weekend, and I turn it back to you, Don. VE9ZP, VE1OL.
VE1OL, VE9ZP, fine on everything there, Aubrey, yeah. Yeah, generally I've got all homemade antennas as well. I was fortunate enough to luck into a couple of commercial antennas, and I did actually buy a tri-bander for 2 meter, 440, and I believe it's 6 meter as well. So, going to be getting that on a new tower this summer, and we'll see if that how much that improves my signal over the vertical that I'm. All right, thanks a lot for checking there out, and have a great weekend. Up next, from the left, we've got Victor Kilo 4, Fox Sierra, Charlie, Glenn. Come on in, lad, with any comments for the net.
V9 Zulu Papa, VK4 Fox Sierra, Charlie. I love this topic there, Don. I was a commercial antenna operator at the start. When I was living at Mum and Dad's place, which is only probably about 500 metres from where I'm living now, all my antennas were commercial. I had a full-size HF antenna for 10, 15 and 20. Full size. It was a TE33 from Mtron over in Western Australia. Beautiful big antenna, and worked many stations on that. Also had Yagi's for 2 and 70, again commercial antennas. And they were all diamonds, so they were a diamond brand of antenna. Towers up for all those years, but since the move, I don't have a location where I can put that sort of equipment, so I've now reverted to homebrew. So all my HF antennas now are homebrew monoband dipoles. So out the moment, in their stealth, I will class them as a stealth setup because they're very low. The highest one's probably 6 foot off the ground. So I have a 15 metre monoband dipole, 6 metre and a 10 metre. I also run one commercial vertical antenna for 10 and 11 metres. It's a Station Master. I'm not sure whether you've heard of that over there in your part of the world, but it's basically a half-wave vertical antenna, no radials, and it's ground mounted, so it's only 2 feet off the ground. Again, very low in its mounting, but that is my vertical antenna for 10 and 11 metres. But the mobile setup, I also run a full HF mobile setup, and again, strong believer in monoband antennas, so run a whole series of diamond monoband whips for the mobile. So that's my topic. So I've been down both parts, but as I said, right at this very moment, the home HF setup is basically full homebrew setup and working very well at the low angle of radiation. Put it back to you, Don. Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa, VK4, Fox Sierra Charlie.
VK4 FSC VE9ZB. Good on everything there, Glenn. Roger on the homebrew now. That's actually all I have up right now is homemade antennas. So I got dipoles up for 10, 20, 40, and 80 meters. As well, I did make an 80 meter loop, full-size 265-foot 80 meter loop, which works quite well. I can get across the pond, no problem with that. Anywho, good on that, Glenn, and have yourself a great weekend, and thanks for the check-in. And at the bottom of this list, we have Gary, Victor Echo 9, Alpha India. Come on in, Gary, with any comments from the net.
VE9ZP Net Control, VE9 Alpha India, Gary in Fredericton on the Fredericton repeater. Good evening to one and all on frequency. And busy weekend, but not in ham radio. Other things, I guess, catching up on here. So anyway, selling my car. I got it sold. I'm just cleaning it all up today and getting it ready to roll. Anyway, as far as antennas, when I first got in ham radio, I did a lot of building. Everything I had up at the time was home built, 2 meter beams and Super J poles and everything like that. And then I had availability of a lot of commercial antennas for 2 meters and UHF. So anyway, I got those up here, and let's see, I got a couple of homemade fan dipole and for 20 and 40 and an 80 meter dipole, and then I have a couple of G5 RVs. One's at the cottage. I bought those. So anyway, I got a mixture, I guess, of antennas. So if I see something interesting, I guess I got a homemade ground plane for 6 meters up here, and I built another 6 meter halo antenna. So if I see something interesting, I usually try to build it. But anyway, a little bit of each kind, I guess. So back to you, Net Control, VE9AI.
VE9AI, VE9ZP, good on everything there, Gary, yeah. Yeah, we, it sounds like you've pretty well got everything covered, commercial and homebrew. Thanks for the check-in there, Gary, and have a great, great long weekend, great Easter weekend. And that's the bottom of that list, so we're still looking for more check-ins to the Triple F Net, or the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. By the way, if you have clear skies tonight, I don't know how much this would apply to anyone else. You can find your coordinates on Spot the Station. For the ISS tonight, anybody in the Fredericton region, we will be having a 5-minute passover on the ISS at 9:08 p.m. tonight, and it'll reach a maximum height of 54 degrees. It will appear at 10 degrees above west-northwest and disappear 21 degrees above southeast. So it should be a nice clear night tonight over in this part of the woods, so might be a good thing to check out and see what 17,500 miles an hour looks like, because that's the speed that it'll be traveling. With that said, this is Victor Echo 9 Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russagornish, your net controller tonight for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion. We're looking for more check-ins to the net, please come now.
Kilo Uniform.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Oscar.
All right, I've got Rob and Malcolm, and there was somebody in between here with a uniform. I didn't quite copy the whole call there. Could you please come try again?
Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Uniform. VK4KU. Over.
Victor Echo 9 Oscar Romeo also.
All right, we've got Victor Echo 1 RMJ, Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Uniform, Victor Echo 9 Mike Oscar, and Victor Echo 9 Oscar Romeo. Any further check-ins on this round? Come now, please. All right, well, go with those four. Top of the list, Victor Echo 1, Romeo Mike, Juliet. Coming in, Rob, with any comments from the net? All right, Rob. Thanks a lot for the check-in there, sir. And yeah, I heard you earlier on giving the heads up on the live stream there, and I tried calling you in, and I guess you were sort of in between rigs. So, anyways, Rob, thanks for the check-in. And do have yourself a great Easter weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Next up, we have Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Uniform. Another fellow from down under. Please come now with any comments from the net.
VK4 Kilo Uniform. My name is Ray, Romeo Alpha Yankee, and I was running our local 2-metre net here this morning, and we had a certain VE1 JBL come on our net and talk to us. So I thought I'd better return the favour. It was good to hear Jim. I had spoken to him previously, and it looks like you're stuck with some of us Queenslanders. So back to you, Val, back to net control. Thank you very much, VK4KU.
VK4KU, VE9ZP, roger on that, Ray. The topic of discussion tonight is actually, do you prefer homemade or commercial antennas? Do you have any comments on that there? Go ahead.
Yeah, a quick comment. Many years ago, I bought a large magnifying glass with about a 6 or 7 inch fluorescent tube, and it showed me A, how bad my eyesight was, B, how much my hand was shaking. So now I go for commercial made equipment. Over.
Good on that there, mates. All right, Ray. Well, thank you very much there for the check-in from down under. We really appreciate it, and I would imagine you folks down there have the same holiday as we do for Easter. So have yourself a great long weekend, and we hope to hear you on in the future there, Ray. VK4KU, VE9ZP. And with that, we will go to Malcolm, Victor Echo 9, Mike Oscar. Come on in, Malcolm, with any comments for the net.
VE9ZP in the group. This is VE9 Mike Oscar, Malcolm in Hanwell. Here at the house, I mostly have handmade things. So I have antenna that we built during my basic class that I have kind of propped up against my back deck, and so we hope to get a little something better for 2 meters in the future, and that may be something I hand build, do a homebrew on, and I also have a fan dipole that I built. So so I kind of like building. I guess I'm not a VE9OR. Probably, I think I'll know his preference. He's quite apt at building things. So, but it's good to. I like to try my hand at it. So, anyway, wish everyone a happy Easter as well, and 7-3 VE9MO.
VE9MO, VE9ZP, fine on all that, Malcolm, yep. Yeah, I think we know which way Charles swings on this topic. Anyways, thanks for the check-in there, Malcolm, and have yourself a great weekend there, sir. And up next, bottom of this list, but not least, is Victor Echo 9, Oscar Romeo. Charles, come on in, and do you prefer homemade or commercial antenna, or should I ask? Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, Don, V9OR here in Fredericton North Side, and just want to say hello to the folks in Queensland there. And you're right, I do enjoy experimenting with home-built antennas, obviously wire ones for HF, well, mostly anyway. I've experimented a little bit with tube type ones for verticals, and for HF. But anyway, I do have a comment, a GP15, very nice antenna, and a couple other commercial antennas, and mobile antenna tri-bander in the attic. But there's wire antennas in the attic. There's 2-bay Sinclair UHF up there, and there's a homemade aluminum rod J-pole, which is running the system right now. And there is, what else around here? Oh yeah, Yagis. I've built, I have a about a 1 meter long, a 4-element Yagi, kind of a close copy of Crushcraft. Then I have a 10-foot Yagi, which favors the low end of the band better for the side band and satellite end of it. And that was modeled on the computer. And what else? I might start to time out there. Anyway, that pretty much sums it up, I think. Did you catch it all there, Don? V9 or
VE9ZB, Roger on that, Charles. We got it all. Yep. You timed it perfectly there, lad. Wow. I think we know where your niche of the hobby lies. Good on everything there. And you know, when it works, it's all the better. That's like with me. All my dipoles, they all tuned up pretty good. Did a little bit of pruning, but nothing major, and everything works great on the HF. And this vertical seems to be doing the trick on VHS. So it's all good there, Charles. Well, thank you very much for the check-in there, and have yourself a great Easter weekend. And Charles is at the bottom of that list, so we will be looking for more check-ins to the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. The topic of discussion tonight is, do you prefer homemade or commercial antennas? And with that, Victor Echo 9 Zulu Papa, the name is Don, your net controller tonight in Russegornish, New Brunswick. We are looking for more check-ins, so any more check-ins, please come now.
Victor Echo 9, Victor India Charlie.
Alright, we got Victor Echo 9, Victor India Charlie. Any more check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net? Please come now. Looks like you're going solo tonight there, Victor Echo 9, Victor India Charlie. Please come now with any comments for the net.
Yeah, good evening, Don. The name is Reno, Romeo India November Oscar. And I do prefer handmade antenna. It's more fun to play with. Back to you.
Roger on that, Reno. Yes. Plus, it keeps us off the streets, too, eh? Good stuff there, Reno. Well, thank you very much for the check-in there, my friend. Merci beaucoup. And have yourself a very fine Easter weekend. Hope to hear you on next week, too. With that, we're at the bottom of that list. So any more check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net? Please come now.
Victor Echo 9, Papa India November.
Alright, we've got Papa India November. Any further check-ins? Any further check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net? Well, Bert, it sounds like you're going solo tonight there, lad. VE9PIN, come on in with any comments for the net.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's been about minus 0 to minus 4 all day. Didn't melt much. Was over cloud all day. Antenna, bought the GP9 25 years ago, and the Cushgraph 4 or 5 element still working good. And the only antenna I built was a few antenna at the beginning 30 years ago to put on the car. Or probably a good one, and built a few others for the other cars. So quarter wave and the 5.8, and we still have them. Usable anytime, but we've been with commercial mobile radio antennas for a while. Besides that, not much. Happy Easter to everyone. Go easy on the chocolate. And we'll probably hear you again next week.
VE9PIN, VE9ZP, fine on everything there, Bert. Yes, indeed. Take it easy on the chocolate for sure. All right, you have a great Easter weekend there, sir, and thank you for the check-in. And with that, we're at the bottom of that list. So, if anybody else would like to call in anywhere on the planet, please come now. Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa, your net controller. The name is Don in Russell-Garnish. Oh, silence is not a good thing. It's still pretty early there, folks. By the way, here's a little bit of trivia for you. Cows have regional accents. They move differently in different parts of the world. Probably didn't know that. And that comes courtesy of Century Mac Farms in Nova Scotia. Happens to be my sister-in-law and her husband. They run that farm, and she sent me that little note. So, yeah, that's a little tidbit there. Anywho, this is the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Any more check-ins for the net, please come now to Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russell-Garnish.
Victor Echo 1, Kilo Echo Victor.
All right, we've got Victor Echo 1, Kilo Echo Victor. It sounds like Kevin. And any comments from the net there, Kevin? Come on in.
VE9 Zulu Papa, VE1 Kilo Echo Victor. Very good evening, Don. Yeah, you're correct. It is Kevin here in Amherst. Just turn the rig on here or whatever. Just got in the shack, so we thought we'd give you a check-in there. And not a bad day today. Thank goodness it's only Friday. We certainly do like the long weekends. Yeah, I don't really have anything much more to report, really. I just want to give you a check-in there and a bean for your pod, I guess. Thanks for calling me in. 7-3, have yourself a great weekend. And happy Easter, everyone. B9ZP from B1KEV.
Roger on that, Kevin. Thank you for the check-in there, my friend. And we do have a topic of discussion tonight, as we usually do. And the topic is, do you prefer homemade or commercial antennas? Any comments on that, Kevin?
I guess let me think here. I guess all the antennas that I have, well, I guess there's one that's, I do have a quad. It's a little quad there that I use for packet, and that's homemade. I bought from a fellow ham from down the alleyway. It's a great little antenna as well. It works really well. And the antennas on my tower, yeah, I got the top of the dual band. That's commercial. And then I got my 10 element for sideband, 13 element beam for just 2 meter, and then my HF beam. And then I have another dual band vertical as well on my little tower. So yeah, I guess it's mostly commercial, and then I have my G5RV, of course, as well. So I'm thinking about making some dipoles though for HF. So I guess that we'll certainly give that a try. I mean, they you know, I've heard that homemade HF antennas work just as well. And I have a fellow ham that lives just close by here that's just basically getting back into radio, and he has the ARRL book. It's on disc or whatever, but a bunch of antennas and stuff. And you know, he dropped me off a disc there, and there's a whole bunch of different antennas that you can make, and he's kind of dabbling with that a little bit. So, and I may as well. So, I guess, yeah, you know, it's I think they all work pretty well, equally well there, Don. Over.
Roger on that, Kevin. Yes, indeed. Yeah, all my HF antennas are homemade. They're all dipoles. I do have one 80-meter loop that I made as well. If you're looking at making some dipoles, to get the total number of feet of the dipole, that's both legs, you take 468, divide that by the frequency in megahertz, and that will give you the total number of feet of the dipole. Snip her in half, and then you got your 2 legs. Bada bing, bada boom. And I usually like to go about 6 inches longer, and then that gives me a little wiggle room. It's easier to cut than it is to add. I do have pretty good soldering skills, but still it's quicker to cut than to add. Yeah. But yeah, for the formula for dipoles, 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz, and that will give you the total length of the dipole, and then just snip her in half. You got her made. Well, thanks a lot for the check-in there, Kevin, and have yourself a really good Easter weekend there, my friend. So with that, we're at the bottom of that list. So any more check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net? The call is Victor Echo 9 Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russagornish. Any more check-ins? Please come now.
Don, I do have one extra little comment there, one question that I wanted to ask you there before you let me go there, over.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
Just when we're talking about HF dipoles, any preference in gauge of wire? Any preference in gauge of wire? And if so, why? Like, do they seem to work a little better, or is it more for weather? You know, if the snow and ice gets built up, less chance of breaking. So any preference in gauge of wire? Do you keep the outside coating on the wire, or do you strip the wire? And is there any difference in that? And should you run like a Ballon, or just run the wire right to your rig there? I guess 3 questions. Sorry, Don. Over. I am very interested in this. Over.
No problem, Kevin. I used number 12 stranded for all my dipoles. It is insulated. The insulation isn't really a big factor, and I went direct to the coax. I don't have a Ballon in there. I actually have 2, I guess you could say 2 semi-fan dipoles. One is my 10 meter and 80 meter, and the other one is my 20 and 40 meter. And I got the shield soldered to one side, the center conductors soldered to the other side. Made sure that everything was nice and silicone, weatherproofed. Weatherproofing is the big thing. You want to make sure you don't get any ingress of moisture to create any corrosion or anything like that. Number 12 seems to be a good gauge to go with. If you go lighter and you have a longer run, of course, you do run the risk of breakage. And I happen to have the number 12 stranded on hand, and that's what I went with. With my loop, though, I did go with a 4-to-1 Vallon because it is a multi-frequency antenna. So with a loop, it is recommended to go with a Vallon. But for just straight dipoles, you can go as long as they're tuned, to the frequency, center of the frequency. You're good to go there, man. Did I answer everything for you there, Kevin?
Yeah, that's perfect, Ron. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I often wondered, like when making dipoles and stuff, what's the gauge of wire that a fellow should, maybe try to go towards, or is there any preference or whatever? And I often wondered, should we strip the wire or should we just keep the coating on it? So, yeah, no, that's perfect, Ron. Thank you very much. B1 KEV.
Right on there, Kevin. Yep. I personally, I would recommend not going any lighter than number 14 gauge. Number 14 gauge would be about the lightest I would probably go. But anywho, with that, Kevin, have yourself a really good weekend there, sir. Happy Easter to you, and thanks for the check-in. So, VE1 KEV was at the bottom of that list. And we are still looking for more check-ins to the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net, or the Triple F Net. The call sign here is Victor Echo 9 and Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russegornish, New Brunswick. Any more check-ins, please come now.
Victor Echo 1, Papa, Sheep, Portable, V1, PS.
Alright, we do have a portable station, Victor Echo 1, Papa Sierra. Come on in with any comments for the net there.
Good evening. Just out dog walk portable, so to speak. Good evening to everybody on the net, and happy Easter to all. And as far as your question with antennas, I've had my ticket since '99, and I've learned over time that it's a measurement of what's more cost-effective and time-effective. And if it's going to take too much time or whatever, I balance that against what the costs are going to be to buy some commercial, and that decides what route I take. Over.
Roger on that. No, it definitely does. You do have some factors to weigh in there. Lots of times with winter time and that, I know that's when I find I do my my main how should I say, antenna structuring work. Get things ready for to go up in the springtime there. I don't think I have your name there. Could I get the name for the log there, Victor Echo 1, Papa Sierra, portable?
V9 Zulu Papa 1 PS. Yeah, name here is Peter. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Over.
All right, Peter. Good stuff on that, my friend. Right. You definitely have a great weekend there, Peter. Happy Easter to you. Thank you for the check-in, or thanks for coming in. and we'll hopefully hear you on next week. And Peter was at the bottom of that list, so we're still looking for more check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Any more check-ins, please come now with the topic of discussion of do you prefer homemade or commercial antennas? Any more check-ins, come now.
VE1OL back with a comment about antenna wire.
VE1OL, go ahead.
Yeah, VE1 ZP, VE1OL. Sorry to come back again here, but I just want to mention that a good place to get the wire for the antenna is Princess Auto when they have it on sale. They have 100-foot rolls. I get number 14. It's insulated and copper, and when it's on sale, it's less than $20 for 100 feet. It's about $16 or $18. I think they have it at number 12 as well, for a bit more money. But they do have it on sale every once in a while. I use that in all my inverted V's, and it works just great. And if it's rubbing up against the trees and everything, it's nice to have the insulation on there. Anyway, that's all from me. I just wanted to mention that in case it would help anybody. VE9ZP, VE1OL.
VE1OL, VE9ZP, good on that, Aubrey. That's info. Another good thing that Princess Auto is good for is contact cleaner. They do have contact cleaner in Princess Auto, and it's relatively inexpensive. You get a very big can. I've got it on the other side of the garage here right now, and my mic cord's not long enough for me to reach. But yeah, well, right on. Thanks for the information there, Aubrey, and once again, have a great Easter weekend. So with that, we are still looking for check-ins for the Triple F Net here tonight. Any more check-ins, please come now. The call is Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa. The name is Don, and I'm located in Russet Cornish.
Victor Echo 9, Victor India Charlie.
Go ahead, Reno.
Yeah, Don, for those interested in handmade antenna, there's a nice bit of internet where you can have a few things you can read. You know? That's Kilo 4, Oscar Bravo India. Kilo 4, Oscar Bravo India. There's a lot of reading there.
All good stuff there, Reno. Yeah, any information is generally good information, but you know, you do have to kind of filter out what you're looking for there. But good on that, Reno. Much appreciated, sir. Thanks a lot for the recheck. And we are still looking for more check-ins for the Triple F Net, the Fredericton Friday Night Fusion Net. Any more check-ins, please come now.
Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima. Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima.
All right, we've got Victor Echo 9, Oscar Romeo with the recheck, and then we have Charlie Golf Lima. Go ahead, Charles, with your recheck.
Hello to everybody on net, and just for the comments about antennas there, and I agree that the 12-gauge stranded copper with the PVC jacket is a good way to go. And, you know, after 5 or more years, some of the cheaper coatings will start to wear off a little bit, but still work after that anyway. And if you're in one of those restricted places, you could use a skinnier wire just to try and hide it, or at least use a jacket that's the color of your background. I don't know, gray, brown, green, whatever. I find in my testing that PVC coated wire runs about, you have to shorten it about 2%. So I find about a 64-foot dipole works well on 40 meters, whereas it was bare wire, it'd be about 66 foot. And the other thing is on balance for full wave loop at about 30 feet or so, a 2 1/4 to 1 balun works well, and give details on that. And I like to use those little 4x4 by 2 inch electrical boxes, which you'd be familiar with, Don, for junction boxes for antennas. Back to you, Victor Echo 9, Oscar Romeo.
Victor Echo 9, Oscar Romeo, Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa returning. Good on everything there, Charles. Yeah, the 4x4 junction boxes, the PVC ones are actually preferred. I find they have a gasket on the lid, and they seal up tight as a button in an oven. They work quite well. Yeah, good on everything, and we'll talk more on that 2.5 to 1 balun. You've got me intrigued there, my friend. On that too, we will go with Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima now. Come on in with any comments from the net there.
Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa. This is Victor Echo 9, Charlie Golf Lima. My name is Germain. It's Golf Echo Romeo Mike Alpha India November. I'm from St. Andre, next to Grand Falls. Just want to put my name in your list there, but your topic questions of the night there, I don't bother with that because I don't have any home base and nothing. I just have some portables and I have my CB in the truck and that's it. So I wanted just to put my name in your list, and I had a text from Bird there to say he finally woke up. I wasn't awake. I wasn't sleeping, so there you go, Bert. Hi. 7-3 to all, and have a nice Easter from VE9 Charlie Golf Lima.
VE9 Charlie Golf Lima, VE9ZP. Good on everything there. I believe it's Jermaine, and you have a little tongue-tied here. Have yourself a great Easter weekend there, Jermaine. And thank you for coming in and checking into the net here tonight. It's good to hear you there, Monami. On that note, we are still looking for more check-ins to the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Any more check-ins? Please come now. Uh-oh, that is a little too quiet. Well, 95 to 10, or 5 to 9, that's not that time. Any more check-ins? We'll do round number 2, pitch number 2 for any more check-ins for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Please come. The call is Victor Echo 9, Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russagornish. Well, we're gonna throw that third pitch out and see if we catch any. Any more check-ins? Last call for the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Please come now. Well, in this case, I guess silence is kind of golden. Or I guess we'll say silver. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in tonight to the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club Friday Night Fusion Net. Good responses to the question. Really, really enjoyable. If you do have any comments or any suggestions for a topic of discussion, you can email me at donve9zp@gmail.com. Always looking for different topics of discussion. So if something that comes up that you think might be interesting to throw around on the net, by all means, we'll give it a shot. So with that, I hope everybody does have a very safe and enjoyable Easter weekend. And thanks to the two gentlemen in Australia there for checking in. Much appreciated. Good to hear you there, mates, and hope to hear you next week. So everybody stay safe, and this is Victor Echo 9 Zulu Papa. The name is Don in Russegorge, New Brunswick. We're closing the nets at 8:58, so pretty darn near 1 hour, which is good. 7-3 all tonight. V9ZP, we are clear.